What happens when the person you love, the one you rely on the most, fails to show up when it matters? In the world of polygamy, family bonds are everything, except when the patriarch is more interested in his past glory than his family's grief. Kody Brown's shocking behavior during two life-changing moments, Garrison's funeral and Isabel's surgery, left fans furious. But what if these actions weren't just mistakes, but a deeper reflection of his true priorities? Tonight, we dive into a story of betrayal, self-centeredness, and the emotional fallout that could change everything for the Brown family. But the real question is, will Kody ever truly be able to redeem himself? Part 1. Kody and his wives, 4 strong women, each unique, each vying for his attention, each with their own battles to fight. But what happens when the family dynamic shifts and cracks begin to show? Over the years, the tensions between Kody and Christine had been simmering, but no one could have expected it to boil over like this. Christine had always been Kody's favorite, at least in the early years. But as time went on, it became clear that Kody's heart was shifting, and Robyn, the youngest wife, began to dominate his attention. Was this moment in the house a hint of what was really going on behind closed doors, or was it the result of years of emotional strain? Kody's visit to Robyn's home is strikingly different. He admires her new furniture with genuine excitement. The chemistry between them is undeniable. Their laughter light, their interactions effortless. But the shift is more than just the furniture. It's the way Kody looks at Robyn, the way he talks to her, the way he touches her. It's a contrast to how he interacts with his other wives, especially Christine. As Kody walks into Christine's home, there's no laughter, no lightheartedness. Just awkward silence, and the weight of years of unspoken words hanging in the air. But it wasn't just the visit. It was what Kody said, his words so casual, but laden with meaning. As he commented on Christine's new furniture, the tension was palpable. What some fans called a jab, a sharp comment wrapped in a compliment. Was this Kody's way of throwing shade at Christine? Was this a subtle declaration of where his true loyalties lay? In this moment, the cracks in their relationship become clearer. For years, Christine had stood by Kody's side, supporting him, caring for him, but it seemed the admiration had faded. The respect that once existed was now hanging by a thread. But here's the twist. Christine's reaction wasn't just one of surprise or disappointment. It was a silent admission of something much deeper. She had known, perhaps for a while, that this moment would come. The signs were always there, but now it was undeniable. Kody had chosen Robyn. For years, Christine had been fighting to maintain her place in the family, trying to win back Kody's affection. But this moment, this small, seemingly innocent visit, was the final blow. It was the confirmation that Kody had already made his choice. The fallout from this moment was swift. Fans erupted on social media, speculating about the underlying tensions between Kody and Christine. Was Kody deliberately favoring Robyn? Was his visit to Christine's house a sign that his marriage to her was coming to an end? For many viewers, it was a heartbreaking moment to witness. They had seen Kody and Christine's journey from the beginning, and now they were watching it unravel before their eyes. But what was the real reason behind Kody's change of heart? Was it Robyn's influence? Or was it a deeper, more complex issue within the family? As the dust settles, the question remains, what happens now for Christine and the rest of the family? Will Kody ever truly repair his relationships with the wives he's left behind? And will Christine find the freedom she's long deserved? For now, the future of this complicated family remains uncertain. But as we look ahead, one thing is clear. The story of the sister wives is far from over. What Kody does next, and how the wives react, will shape the future of their family forever. What do you think of Kody's behavior towards Christine and Robyn? Do you believe the family will ever heal? Let us know in the comments below. Part 2. Garrison's funeral was a deeply emotional event for the Brown family, a time for mourning and remembrance. Garrison was not just a son. He was a brother, a friend, and a pivotal part of the Brown family dynamic. His passing shook everyone. But for Kody, it seems the focus shifted quickly away from the family's pain and towards his own past glory. Kody had been around for years, guiding his wives and children through the ups and downs of a life built on polygamy. But as we watched him speak at the funeral, something felt off. Instead of leading with love and support, Kody was proudly recounting his wrestling achievements from high school, as if the funeral had turned into a platform for his own self-promotion. It's one thing to speak about the past at a funeral, but it's another to make the entire event about you. As Kody continued his tour of his hometown, showing off where he grew up and discussing his athletic feats, the family's grief was drowned out by the sound of his self-congratulatory tone. In a time of collective mourning, Kody's behavior was alienating. His remarks were tone-deaf, and his actions seemed like a clear disregard for the emotional gravity of the situation. While other family members were trying to come to terms with their loss, Kody was turning the moment into a showcase of his personal achievements. But as if that wasn't enough, Kody's lack of priorities became even clearer when Isabel went under the knife for her surgery. This was a critical time, a time when family members are expected to drop everything and show their support. But Kody didn't do that. Instead, he made the decision to leave Isabel's side during her surgery to attend a wedding. A wedding. The choice seemed cruel, cold, and completely out of touch with what his family needed. Kody's decision was shocking. As Isabel faced an emotional and physical challenge, her father was nowhere to be found. Instead, he was at a wedding, celebrating someone else's happiness. And for many fans, that moment was a turning point, a clear indication of where Kody's loyalties really lie. But here's the twist. Kody's actions were not just an isolated incident. They were part of a deeper pattern of selfishness and misplaced priorities. For years, fans had seen glimpses of Kody's inability to connect with his children on a deeper level. But this was the ultimate betrayal. A man who had promised to be there for his family in their darkest times had shown time and time again that his own desires came first. Fans quickly took to social media, expressing their fury at Kody's choices. How could he leave Isabel alone during surgery? Why did he brag about past achievements during a time of mourning? The questions came pouring in, and the backlash was swift and intense. But was Kody aware of the damage he was causing? Or was he simply too wrapped up in his own world to realize the hurt he was leaving behind? The fallout was immediate. People began questioning Kody's role in the family. How could he be the patriarch if he couldn't even prioritize the people closest to him? Fans were furious, not just because of his actions at the funeral and Isabel's surgery, but because they had come to expect more from the leader of the family. Some fans felt betrayed, as if Kody had never really cared for his children the way they believed he did. The idea of him turning a funeral into a self-centered spectacle left many asking, was this the real Kody all along? And what does this say about his true relationship with his family? Kody Brown's actions during Garrison's funeral and Isabel's surgery were a stark revelation. In times when family is expected to come together, Kody chose himself. The fans who once admired him now see him in a different light. Can Kody ever redeem himself in their eyes? And can the Brown family ever heal from these emotional wounds? Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. It was supposed to be a time for mourning, a time for the Brown family to come together and say goodbye to Garrison, a beloved son, brother, and friend. But instead, what unfolded was something that shocked even the most dedicated fans. Kody Brown, supposedly the head of this large family, took center stage, but not to grieve. Instead, he turned the day of mourning into a self-centered tour of his past, showcasing achievements that had no place in this heartbreaking moment. But the funeral was just the beginning. As Kody walked into Garrison's funeral, his posture was stiff, his eyes focused not on the grief surrounding him, but on something else entirely: himself. Kody started recounting his high school wrestling achievements to anyone who would listen, seemingly oblivious to the pain in the room. Was he really this out of touch with his family's needs? For years, fans had watched Kody navigate his relationships with his wives and children. But there was always a sense that something was missing. Despite his position as the family patriarch, Kody's actions often seemed disconnected from the reality of what his family truly needed. At Garrison's funeral, this disconnection was glaringly obvious. His speeches were filled with nostalgia about his past, a time long gone, while his family, his children, his wives, sat in the shadows, longing for the emotional support that was rightfully theirs. This wasn't the first time Kody had shown this level of detachment. Fans had long speculated that his emotional distance was one of the reasons his relationships with his wives and children had grown strained over the years. And now it was painfully clear. Kody wasn't just absent physically at Garrison's funeral, he was absent emotionally as well. But the stakes would only get higher. After the funeral, Kody's behavior took another jaw-dropping turn. Isabel, Kody's daughter, was undergoing a major surgery. A critical moment for any parent. But Kody's choice in the face of this medical crisis left fans stunned. The camera focuses on Isabel in a hospital bed, visibly emotional, as nurses prepare her for surgery. Instead of being by Isabel's side, Kody made the choice to leave and attend a wedding. A wedding. As his daughter went into surgery, the patriarch of the Brown family was more interested in a social event than in comforting his daughter. Was this just another careless decision? Or was it a deliberate act revealing his true priorities? In a family where loyalty and support are expected, Kody's actions seemed to speak volumes. He had missed the most important moments of his family's lives, moments when they needed him most. His absence during Isabel's surgery wasn't just a failure as a father, it was a failure as a leader of the family. But why? What could possibly explain his decisions? Was it an emotional breakdown? A sign of self-absorption? Or something deeper? The Brown family, once united, now appeared fractured, and Kody was at the center of it all. But could he even see the damage he was causing? Or was he so blinded by his own desires that he failed to understand the pain he was inflicting? As the public watched Kody's actions unfold, the backlash was swift and unforgiving. Fans of the show, who had once admired Kody for his seemingly unwavering dedication to his family, were now questioning his character. How could he leave Isabel during surgery? How could he turn a funeral into a self-serving spectacle? The reactions poured in, many expressing deep disappointment in the man they had once considered a father figure. But the real shock came when fans realized that this wasn't just about one moment. It was about a pattern of behavior, a failure to connect with his family on an emotional level, a complete disregard for their needs when he could have been there for them. The Brown family's crisis was not just about one man's decisions. It was about the unraveling of a family. Could they ever recover from this betrayal? Kody had been at the center of their lives, but now it seemed he was losing his place. And for many, the question wasn't just about Kody's choices. It was about what this meant for the future of the Brown family. As the dust settles, the Brown family faces an uncertain future. Can they heal from the wounds that Kody's actions have left behind? Will he ever find his way back to his family? Or has this betrayal irreparably altered the course of their lives? What do you think? Can Kody recover from this crisis, or is the damage too great? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to keep up with the latest updates on the Brown family, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. The story is far from over, and the next chapter is just beginning.